want to apologize in advance for giving today's presentation in English. Unfortunately, my Spanish is not so good, so I won't torture you by doing a presentation in Spanish, and I will do it in English. But I figured I could at least start by saying hello in Spanish. My name is Alex Josephson. I lead Twitter's global brand strategy team based in New York, but that's a long name, so you can follow me or tweet at me at @ageless, which I was just told backstage I think means garlic in Spanish, so I'm 2 for 2 today. And while I'm not fluent in Spanish, I'm really excited to be here because I am fluent as a father of 2 small kids, fluent in children. So this is a real tweet from my account, and sadly this is the appearance of my home with a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old more often than not. And today, I'm going to talk about the Generation Z audience, or as we refer to them as the Gen Z audience, and their speed of culture. And according to Forbes, the Gen Z audience is anyone who's born between 1995 and 2010. So anyone between the age roughly of 8 and 23 years old. Sure, another number, 40 billion. 40 billion is the number of tweet impressions we see every single day. Meaning it's the number of times tweets are viewed by human beings within the average 24-hour period. Another number is 5.6 million. 5.6 million is the number of open for surprise tweets we saw in the last year. You're probably not sure what an open for a surprise tweet is, so I'll share a quick example. An open for a surprise tweet says open for a surprise in the copy, and it has an image that you can't quite see the whole thing in your feed or your timeline until you click on it, and it reveals a surprise. In this case, a kid and doctor, I think. And these types of tweets can generate hundreds of thousands of engagements within a matter of days or even hours. In fact, there will be over 200 new open for a surprise tweets sent in the next 15 minutes or so while I'm standing here on stage. And 92% of these open for a surprise tweets are generated by Gen Z. Gen Z, they are on track to become the largest generation of consumers by 2020. They already account for over $140 billion in direct spending. And according to Nielsen, in the US, they account for nearly half of the entire media audience. This is a very unique audience segment. They are the most diverse generation we've seen. Worldwide, they are the most connected generation across devices, and they are by far and away the most mobile generation, spending the most screen time and consuming the most content on mobile devices. In fact, almost half of them have made a purchase because of something they've seen on social media, across any type of product category in all types of industries, from clothing to food to entertainment to consumer electronics. And the reality is, for them, there is no separation between real life and life on social media. Many members of this audience segment, as you know, they've never known the world without social media. And they're not just on Twitter, they're on many platforms, they're on countless apps, streaming services, and when we ask them why they go to Twitter, it's to stay up to date with the latest news and to stay connected globally. And because of this behavior, this is why they can power movements and memes like the Neymar challenge. So Neymar was accused of faking injuries on the field during the World Cup. We saw hundreds of thousands of tweets of pictures and videos from kids and teenagers all over the world faking injuries at football practice or during football games. It's the reason why everyday Generation Z Twitter users like Celeria can start movements like this. She's offering her prom dress to a girl in need in her neighborhood, saying, is anyone in need of a prom dress for prom season? I have one, you can borrow it along with the makeup. And within days, we see tens of thousands of high school girls across the country on Twitter donating their prom dresses to girls in need. Now, while these movements and moments do start on Twitter, the Gen Z audience is not just on Twitter. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Snapchat, they're on YouTube. But the reality is, and the research shows, they have different platforms for different mindsets. And I think this college student on Twitter, I think sums it up best, where she says, Instagram, there are no fights. Facebook is where you fight with your friends. Twitter is where you fight with the president of the World Health Organization. And so on many platforms, the mindset that Generation Z, that teenagers, that the youth come to those apps and those platforms with is a look at me mindset. Look at my selfie. Look at my feet in the sand of the beach. Look at my puke rainbow, mirror me. On Twitter, the mindset is a bit different. The mindset is more of a look at this or look at that platform, or esto. Because Twitter is what's happening in the world in real time. It's what's happening in culture, and it's the audience that is shaping that culture. And an example of a look at this movement is the hashtag Never Again movement from the state of Florida in the US. And I'm not sure if folks are familiar with this movement, so I'll explain it in a bit. There was a mass shooting in a high school in Florida. And in the days that followed that shooting, the survivors, the students who survived the shooting, had enough. And they took to Twitter, they signed up on Twitter, and they demanded action from politicians in Washington to change gun legislation in America. Students like Emma Gonzalez, who had never been to the platform, signed up and began spreading messages like this. Don't just send them your thoughts and prayers, do something to help them. And the media and the world began to take notice of this. Everyone from Oprah and George Clooney to Ellen, and within a matter of just a couple of weeks, these students were on CNN, on national television, debating US senators on gun legislation. And within those few weeks, Emma had never been on Twitter, but the NRA, the National Rifle Association, had been on Twitter since 2009. And yet Emma had doubled their following count. And her voice was getting louder, her microphone was being elevated. And this led to March for Our Lives, where millions took to Washington, D.C. and marched on the nation's capital demanding a change in gun laws. And this, by the way, was a global movement. This took place in countries and cities all over the world. And as a result, some of the most historic, largest brands around the world began to denounce their corporate relationships with the National Rifle Association. From the airlines to the insurance companies to the retail brands. And when they made these announcements, they took to Twitter to do so because they knew they were going to reach a very specific audience that was going to carry their message further and faster than anywhere else in the world. They knew their purpose travels on Twitter. And this is not an isolated example. In the last year, there was a girl in California who was cited for operating a lemonade stand without a permit, and she was fined by the local police officers. And so Country Time Lemonade, which is a very historic, I'm not sure if it's a brand relevant here, but they are a historic lemonade brand in the US. They took to Twitter and to society with the hashtag Save Lemonade Stands movement, in which they said for every tweet with that hashtag, they were going to donate cash to a fund that they would use to pay the fines and pay the tickets for every kid who ever was fined again for operating a lemonade stand illegally in the United States. And this, of course, became international news overnight. The reality is, people are buying or boycotting brands based on their brand stance on a social or political issue 30% more today than they were just a year ago. And so brands like Country Time understand this, and they're taking a stance and they're being clear on who they are, what they stand for, and what matters to them. And they're not alone. Nike is another example. With the recent 30th anniversary of the Just Do It campaign, they unveiled their newest athlete spokesperson, Colin Kaepernick. And they announced this moment with a tweet that came from Colin Kaepernick's personal handle. Now, just to make sure everyone's aware, Kaepernick is the NFL American football player who began the movement of kneeling during the national anthem before games to raise awareness for Black Lives Matter. And this is very controversial, and people are on both sides of that issue. And when Nike issued that tweet, the Kaepernick tweet saw more likes than Barack Obama's famed 4 more years tweet, where he announced, minutes after being reelected, he announced his second term as U.S. president. The difference is the Obama tweet had been accruing likes for 6 years. The Kaepernick tweet had only been live for less than 24 hours. And so Nike struck a chord with that influential and receptive audience on Twitter, and they followed it moments later by unveiling the full-length film for the campaign, in which Kaepernick dared America and really youth around the world to dream bigger, to dream crazy, to just do it. And that film saw twice as many views on Twitter than it did any other platform in the first 24 hours. And the reason Nike started with Twitter is because they knew they were going to reach a very unique audience who would respond in very unique ways. So, some people came out on Twitter and supported Nike, and they began tweeting pictures and videos of the new Nike products that they had just purchased, supporting Nike on their stance on this issue. Others took the other side, and they began destroying their Nike clothes and destroying their Nike equipment, setting their shoes on fire and tweeting it out. A really big trend that took off was people were cutting the Nike swoosh off the top of their socks in protest of Nike's stance on this issue. And some people took a lighter-hearted approach to the matter in threads like this, where they said, here, I have a reason I chose to cut the Nike swoosh logo off my socks. Makes for a great wristband. Any cheap Walmart socks can become Nike socks. Killer turtleneck for my tiny dog. It's a great beer koozie. If you're cold at night, you don't want to sleep with socks, but your toes are cold. Problem solved. Of course, you're trying to tell your roommate, busy in your room, why use the whole sock when you can just use the top. And on a more serious note, within days, online sales for Nike increased by over 30%. And within less than 3 weeks, their market cap grew by $6 billion. And they started this movement with a simple tweet from Kaepernick's personal handle. And they seeded that on Twitter because they knew that audience on Twitter had been debating and discussing Black Lives Matter and kneeling during the national anthem, police brutality, for more than a year in a really intense and live way. And so whether it's the grassroots movement of the high school kids in Parkland, or a real-time campaign activation from Country Town Lemonade, or a meticulously thought and planned and daring campaign from Nike with Just Do It, all of these movements and all of these stories have something in common. It's that they started with the audience. They started with the most receptive and influential audience they could find. They started with them on Twitter. Gracias.